Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Today I will introduce you to ILATS for the second segment of our August 2021 Earth Monitor News Bulletin. The Earth Monitor project is essentially a new project, a news roundup centered on topics about climate change and environmental hazards and research and technological innovation in these areas. I hope you will enjoy the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you would like to receive regular updates about the latest developments on the impacts of climate change on our planet. If you like the video, you can leave a like, which is very useful to our cause as we're trying to gain more exposure for the channel. So without further ado, let's begin and let's have a look at the science, studies and technology section. The most prominent item in this section, I believe, was the release of the 1300 pages AERC IPCC 2021 report. The report for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is released every 8 years. It basically provides an assessment of the current evidence on the physical science of climate change. The knowledge evaluation is gained through observation, analysis of climate archives, and climate model simulation, as well as physical, chemical, and biological climate processes. It's a very important report. As I said, it's released every 8 years and is usually used by governments and organizations worldwide to draw the policy. In this case, I guess it would be used very extensively by many organizations, many governments, to try to gain a better understanding of where they stand in terms of their zero emission, progress on zero emission targets. The report has few key messages. I think one of the most important key messages is the fact that the fundings for climate science have improved massively during the last decade. Not only now possess better mathematical models, but you can also rely on over 30 years of scientific measurements to assist scientists with their predictions, particularly at regional levels. The report cites how the whole planet is experiencing an increase in temperature and how different regions will become consistently drier, particularly Africa and subtropical region, or wetter, in this case the United States of America. Changes will also occur in monsoon pattern and in biodiversity hotspots. The report highlights the urgency of switching to clean energy over fossil fuel by citing this as the only possible realistic way to reverse climate disruptions. The report explores 4 key areas. The first one is the current state of the planet. The second one is possible climate future. The third is climate information for risk assessment and regional adaptation. And the fourth one is limiting future climate change. The most stark warning was the fact that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean and land. This is now an indisputable fact. Rapid changes in the atmosphere, ocean, cryosphere and biosphere have also occurred in the last decade. The scale of recent changes in climate patterns is unprecedented over many centuries to many thousands of years. Human-induced climate change is already affecting many weather and climate extremes in every region across the globe. These include extreme changes in heat waves, heavy precipitation patterns, droughts, and tropical cyclones. The global surface temperatures will continue to increase until at last the mid-centuries under all emission scenarios considered in the report. Global warming of 1.5 Celsius and 2 Celsius will be exceeded during the 21st centuries unless deep reduction in carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases emission occurred in the coming decades. Many changes in the climate system become larger in direct relation to increasing global warming. They include increases in the frequency and intensity of hot extremes, marine heat waves, and heavy precipitation. Also agricultural and ecological droughts in some regions, and proportion of intense tropical cyclone, as well as reduction in Arctic sea ice, snow and permafrost. Many changes due to past and future greenhouse gas emissions are irreversible for centuries to millennia, especially changes in the ocean, ice sheets and global sea level. Once again, the original report, the link to the original report is available in our newsletter, which is available in the description section below. Now let's have a look at another tool that the IPCC has made available to the public on their website. Again, the link is available in the description section. So alongside the report, the IPCC has released a very useful tool. It's called the novel AERC Working Group 1 Interactive Atlas. It allows for a flexible spatial and temporal analysis of both data-driven climate change information and assessment findings in the report. Let's touch base on something that is worrying scientists a little bit everywhere. This is the second greenhouse contributor to our climate, which is methane. As you know, the biggest contributor is CO2. It is also the worst because it stays in the atmosphere for longer. Although methane has a shorter lifespan, is also it's present in large quantity around the planet, generally created by the decay of organic matter. There is a huge deposit of methane in permafrost region, in the Arctic, Siberia, Greenland, and scientists are worried that by climate change will basically accelerate the melting of this area, which will then release huge amount of methane gas into the atmosphere, therefore accelerating the global warming process. So scientists are now calling to create some kind of an international panel to actually discuss and find ways to reduce emission of methane. Another story was published by the newstatesman.com on the 6th of August. This basically discusses how seriously should we take the pledges of oil and gas giants such as BP and Shell to reach net zero emission by 2050. These promises obviously are important for these companies, also for their investors, particularly big pension funds. A new report from Oxfam published on the 3rd of August has cast serious doubts on the feasibility of the company methods to achieve the net zero emission targets by 2050. So basically, they examined the pledges of 4 major energy companies, BP, Shell, Total Energies, and Eni. The paper argues that each of the strategies to reach net zero is dangerously over-reliant on carbon offsets. So instead, they're making fundamental changes to their business model and reducing their own emission. For a company of this size, and considering also the history they have in terms of, emission of greenhouse gases, I think planting trees is really not enough for this type of companies, and more should be done to force them to actually review their internal business model. Another news was discussing setback for the UK government pledge to cut emissions. The UK was basically planning to achieve its target by adopting blue hydrogen. So blue hydrogen is made by fossil fuel gas. Apparently some academics in America have found out that this could be 20% worse for the climate than using gas and traditional gas in homes and heavy industries. So basically the process leaves a byproduct of carbon dioxide and methane, which fossil fuel companies plan to trap using carbon capture technology. However, even the most advanced scheme cannot capture all the emission. Therefore, scientists are saying this is not going to be good enough. Another setback is the fact that the WWF has conducted some investigation, and it seems that has found out that the UK government is investing, instead of investing 1% of its GDP, which is apparently what is necessary to meet its green initiative and to implement this green initiative and meet its target. Instead, in 1%, the UK is currently investing 0.01. On the 5th of August, the White House announced that it seeks to ensure that 50% of all new passenger vehicles sold in the United States by 2030 are powered by electricity. The purpose of this target is to enable the US to remain competitive with China in the growing electric vehicle market and to meet its international climate commitments. Now, I'd like to bring your attention to a very interesting clean tech company based in the idyllic surrounding of Cornwall in England. This company is called Bannerman. It specializes in the collection of fugitive methane gas and turns it into a better than zero carbon fuel. Bannerman captures the biogas gases from organic matter from farms and processes, converting it into green fuel that's collected from farms and aggregated with fuel from other sites and sold into the energy market. There is a remarkable example of how our technology can indeed make the difference in our fight against climate change, and also a very interesting possible investment. Biomimicry, the methods of creating solutions to people's problems by imitating nature, is something that we're only getting better at. Scientists are now looking into the building block of mushrooms to solve the world plastic pollution problem, and the science behind the emerging technology is nothing short of fascinating. Ecologist Suzanne Simard's groundbreaking work over the last 35 years has shown that mycelium, the underlying fungi foundation of mushroom, creates a kind of structure that allows large networks of trees and other plants to exchange nutrients underground and even communicate information about parasites and other predators to the neighborhood. Basically, by controlling CO2 levels, temperatures and humidity conditions, mycelium growth can be directed to form predictable macrostructures in a matter of days. As Scientific American points out, the accumulation of these fibers can produce an 18 by 2 by 12 inch sheet weighing a couple of pounds within the course of a week. Harnessed properly, these structures have the potential to be used in a myriad of real-world applications, and companies around the world are starting to explore the potential to replace petroleum-based materials in industries ranging from packaging, apparel, and even construction. With this, we concluded our segment about science, studies, and technology. In the next section, we'll be covering stories associated with rescue, preparedness, resilience, and special projects. This segment will also include recommendations for our read of the month. If you'd like to receive more content on these subjects, please activate your subscription by activating the little bell icon, or just show your support by liking the video. We really appreciate your support. Take care and long live planet Earth. Bye.